Okay, so pretty much I was explaining Danielson, right? And so we were going into the third beast, which was the winged leopard. Okay. And I pretty much have down here for the winged leopard. Um, this was the Grecian Empire, okay, which would conquer the Persian Empire, okay, and expand beyond it. Is pretty much what they did. Uh, this prophecy came true when Alexander the Great had conquered the known world very swiftly. He did it very swiftly. Um, he was pretty much flying over his enemies. That's how fast he conquered everything. Okay. I don't believe Alexander the Great. I don't believe he had an heir. And the beast, which was the fourth beast, pretty much the Roman Empire. Okay. Um, this is the one that is diverse from all the rest that was before it. Okay. Uh, Rome conquered Greece. Rome was the is to my belief it was the longest standing empire. But you all don't have to quote me on that. You all can go ahead and pretty much research that for yourself, right? So I want to go to some more literature I have now. Okay. Now, what was all of this leading up to? Because I want you all to understand something, right? We're going into an age where everything is going to be controlled by the internet. I need you all to understand that. When I say everything, I mean everything. Pretty soon, pretty soon, we already have autom- we already have cars that drive by themselves, right? Cars that park themselves, they drive by themselves. You put in the destination, they switch the lanes accordingly. We have cars that drive themselves. Just like how you used to see on a lot of these futuristic movies. How did these movies know these things? These movies understood these things, the directors of these movies, they understood these things because they knew that these things were coming. These things had been spoke about tens and tens and tens, 50s of years before they happened, right? So I need you all to understand what's going on here. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Um, well, I'm going to ask myself that question too. Okay, I want you all to pay very attention because I'm going to ask you all a question. What is a stockbroker? So many of you are wondering how in the hell do I get from understanding how the new world order is ushering in and how the new world order relates to the fourth beast and to a stockbroker. To what the hell is a stockbroker? So, a stockbroker is a regulated broker, dealer, or registered investment advisor. So, a stockbroker is a registered investment advisor. It's very important to understand that they are an advisor who may provide financial advisory and investment management services, and execute transactions such as the purchase. So, Wall Street, now I know there are a lot of people on the internet, and your profession is finance. So, my profession isn't finance, okay? So, I want to be humble. But somebody could correct me if I'm wrong about about stockbrokers, because it pretty much is there aren't if now I'm not 100% sure. I could research that, but this I do know for a fact that stockbrokers aren't used the way they were used before 9/11. Okay, I know that for a fact. Now, I know many of you on the internet are very skilled in the field of finance. And I'm not very skilled. Now, I'm not a dull knife. There are some things that I know. So if stockbrokers, I don't even know, I'm not even sure if they're still really around anywhere near the capacity that they once were. Wall Street used to be flooded with stockbrokers. But now it's different. I'm not saying that stockbrokers are completely obsolete. I don't know. You would have to go to a financial professional and ask that question. Are stockbrokers obsolete? Well, if I had to place a bet, I would lean toward yes than no. But I'm sure stockbrokers still exist. But are they really needed in today's trading, in today's stock purchase? No. So, why did I ask that question? Why did I give the definition of a stockbroker? Remember, they are investment management advisors. And in many cases, once upon a time, and probably still for some people today, a stockbroker was a man or a woman that actually made the purchase of a stock with the comprehension that this stock is a good stock to buy for the turnover. So let me say that again. Even today, if you purchase stock, you have to be careful about purchasing the stock. Why? Because you don't know if the stock is going to go up. And we know that if it goes down, that's bad, right? You lose money, right? Of course. So a stock can go down. I don't believe it can go below zero. But if it goes to zero, that means you lose all of the money that you invested in the stock. On the other hand, if the stock goes over a decimal, whatever the case may be, you can become a millionaire, right? So this happened not too long ago with Berkshire Hathaway. And there are many stocks within the past 10 years that have took people that have made people millionaires, or shall I say, since the stock market. At one point in time, we all know that the stock market was hot, 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 right? And Negroes, we didn't know nothing about it then. We weren't involved in it then, and things of that nature. And so, many Negroes missed out because normally things don't get to us until it's somewhat saturated. Now, recession is real. Recession is real. Some people say, well, if you think it's a recession, then it's a recession. But if you don't think, that's bullshit. Recessions are very physically real. Now, we're going to get into something right here, okay? Because I want people to pay attention to what I'm about to say. So, what was the purpose of everything that I just said? What does the mark of the beast have to do at all to what I'm talking about right now? There was a previous message that I made when I spoke of a company by the name of Black Rock Inc. Black Rock Inc. I believe the company was founded in 1988 by a man that goes by the last name of Fink. What is his name? Larry Fink. So, BlackRock, a lot of people have never heard of the company BlackRock. When I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people. Everybody's heard of Walmart. Everybody's heard of Pepsi Cola. Everybody's heard of Nike. Everybody's heard of Wells Fargo. But until my last message, and a lot of people already knew, but until the message that I made when I spoke about the BlackRock Corporation, many of you Negroes that watched that message never heard of the BlackRock Incorporated. So, what type of company did BlackRock begin as? It started off of risk management and fixed income. It was a risk management and fixed income asset manager. Stocks can be assets, but assets can be a wide variety of things. So BlackRock manages stocks, but it also manages monies, stocks, bonds. It manages gold. So whatever can be an asset, real estate, technology, oil, steel, it manages these assets for other companies. So they started off as a risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. That's how it began. I'm in my backyard, so it's a lot of mosquitoes flying around. So, Multi International Investment Management Corporation, based in New York City. So that's what it is now. So, what is BlackRock? It's a multi international investment management corporation. Multi international, based in New York City. It is the largest asset holder on earth. So, I try to explain to some people who are professional financiers or who claim to be professors in finance, but were too unwise to understand the power of the BlackRock Incorporated. Now, some people would like to say, well, BlackRock rules the world. Well, we're not going to go that far, okay? We're not going to get into BlackRock rules the world, okay? But we're going to talk about its potential, even though it's already an extremely powerful company. Now, Larry Fink is the definition of Esau. He's Many people would incorporate him with being Jewish, but him, just like people like him, they don't like to be called Jewish. They have Jewish ties, but he's not the same. He's not Ashkenazi like the imposters over there in Israel. I have reason to believe he's Sephardic. Now, why did I say that? Because they're a little, they don't have the pale skin as the Ashkenazis, and they're more powerful. Okay? Larry Fink is a very powerful man. Now, me personally, I believe that this company, BlackRock Inc., personally, my personal opinion, I believe it made a deal with the devil. In 1992, when it was adopted, it was managing $17 billion in asset in 1992 when it adopted its um what did it adopt uh I don't know. I think they did something with the name or something like that. But in 92, they were managing about $17 billion in assets. By 1994, it was managing $53 billion in assets. 5 to 10 years later, to around 2004, 2005, it went from 53 billion in assets to managing $325 billion in assets. This company was called to assist with the financial meltdown. So many people, including myself very much, know that there was a great financial meltdown in 2008. A lot of things happened in 2008. That's when 44 came on the scene. Okay. So BlackRock Inc., Larry Fink, the stock market went to him. a lot of the major corporations went to this guy to ask him to save the economy. Remember before I told you that Morgan funded the entire United States. That's how much money he had. Now, BlackRock didn't fund the United States, but the problem was the Lehman Brothers had collapsed. That was major. When the Lehman Brothers collapsed, it was a domino effect for Wall Street, not only for the Wall Street, but for the entire US economy. America could have actually fell in 2008, but there was no stockbroker or no amount of stockbrokers that had the financial wisdom to give these major corporations to help them manage their assets so that they wouldn't collapse. So politicians, everybody went to the BlackRock Inc. because they have a very, very powerful software, probably among the most powerful software on the planet. This software is not an average software. Okay? So by 2009, so after 2008, so when they stepped up to financially manage this crisis that was taking place in 2008, by 2009, BlackRock Inc. was the largest asset manager in the world. BlackRock is larger than the largest bank in the world, which is the Industrial and Commerce Bank of China. It is the top three shareholders in every massive oil company. So BlackRock, not only, I need you to pay attention. Many of you are not going to understand. A lot of, and I'm not. This is no shot at women, but the reason why many women don't understand things is because they just don't care. It's because you're just not interested. Many of you women are very intelligent, but you don't comprehend because it's not important to you. It's not fun. It's not making you laugh and giggle and roll out your seat. So you cut it off. This is why women need guidance because none of you, excuse me, not none of you, not many of you have understanding or the importance of the things that I'm saying right now. BlackRock is of the top three shareholders in every oil company everywhere. I don't even think Some of you may have understood that magnitude. If you're a financial professional, then you understood the magnitude of what I just said. But if you're just an average Joe, that went right over your head. So BlackRock doesn't just manage the assets for these oil companies. Every oil company on the planet, every oil company on the planet, BlackRock Inc. is of the top three shareholders in the company. I want to repeat that. Every oil company on this planet, BlackRock Inc. is of the top three shareholders in that oil company. All of them. Some of you still won't get it, but that's okay. I'm going to move on. It's top, it's of the top 10 shareholders in 7 of the 10 largest coal producers. Coal producers. I'm going to repeat that, but I'm only going to do it once. BlackRock is in the top 10, is of the top 10 shareholders in 7 of the top 10 largest coal producers. 10% of all financial assets worldwide. It's actually more than that now. This information is 4 or 5 years old. 10% of all the financial assets worldwide. BlackRock advises central banks such as the Federal Reserve, the development of incredibly powerful software platform called Aladdin. And I spoke about Aladdin before. So, what does Aladdin do? It does the same thing a stockbroker does. But here's the issue. Here's the twist. When you invest in stock or crypto, you're taking a chance. As a human being, you only make an educated financial gesture that Pepsi stock is going to rise, or that Nike stock is going to rise. You make this educated guess by specific things that happen with that company, how good the company is improving,